So what often happens in these moments, I've had a lot of conversations with my brother Ted about this. He was a pastor for 35 years. The church, body of Christ, rises to the crisis moment. But then that sort of melts away, and then there you are, you haven't quit grieving, you're dealing with this massive, life-changing thing, this hole in your life that, I mean, as you tell your story, I just think it's unthinkable. We almost lost our daughter in an accident. She was hit by a car and crushed against a wall, and we just remember the trauma of going through that.
Yeah. I often say to people, in an experience like this, some of your greatest comfort comes from people. I mean, people have an amazing power to bring comfort to others. And I would also say, in the midst of something like this, some of the deepest hurts come from people. I think I went into this experience with a lot of high expectations for people and how they would respond to us. I think I had a posture of kind of, okay, what are you going to say to us? What, And it was pretty harsh. And Hope was with us for 6 months, and then she died. And I remember shortly before her death talking to a mom who had lost a child, and she said to us, the hard thing after our child died wasn't what people said. It was that some people didn't say anything at all. And certainly David and I discovered that, which to me was an expression of your daughter's life doesn't merit a mention.
No.
That's how it hit me, and that was hard. But I hate to jump immediately to the negative, because there was so much positive. When I just think, this was what gets me crying, if you're trying to get me crying, is to talk about people who surrounded us and were just there for us in so many ways. And, I've learned a lot about that. And sometimes I'll be counseling or talking with someone who's going through the loss of a loved one, and maybe they're feeling a little bit disappointed. So for many years, David and I, for 14 years, we held weekend retreats for couples who've lost children. And I would say to them at one point, okay, how many of you on this side of loss feel like you have lost some friends, and you have some friends or family who have really disappointed you? And most of them would raise their hands. And then I would say, now, how many of you had people show up in your life that had maybe never been a part of your life before? And through this, they've become an important part of your life. And they'd kind of be like, yeah, like almost hadn't put those two things together. I think of my friend, Julie Dilworth. She's my friend now. We weren't really friends before I had Hope. And I remember her contacting me one point really early on. And she said, I've got Mondays open, and I would just like to come over every Monday and get to know Hope and help you. And that was big to me, Paul. I couldn't help but love Hope. This child who was going to die. But it meant a lot that somebody else that I wasn't even that close with wanted to know her, and so she came over every Monday, and she did the laundry sometimes, and I went for a walk or just whatever. And I'll never forget the Monday after Hope died, getting a text from her, it's Monday and I miss Hope. And a week ago was the 24th anniversary of Hope's death. And I woke up, text from Julie Dilworth. I'm thinking about Hope today, just that she is never forgotten. And she knows I'm going to wake up on that morning thinking about Hope. And almost before I do, I get a text from her, which is profoundly meaningful.